Hey there! You're listening to Sun Sister Podcast. This podcast is following my interrail trip across Europe during the spring of 2023. For 3 months, I interviewed women I met along the road to talk about their personal stories and women's rights in their country. Today, you'll be listening to Maria from Venezuela. Last year, she traveled across Europe while writing her thesis in engineering. I met her during the first stop of my trip in Croatia, and we recorded this on April 2023 in a corridor at our hostel. She was the funniest and shyest roommate I could ask for during my stay in rainy Zagreb. And be prepared because she'll give you a huge shot of self-confidence. In this episode, we talked about sorority, self-love, and chocolates. Enjoy! Alright, so good morning, Maria.
Good morning.
Welcome to this new podcast, which is centered around intersectional feminism and gender equality around the world. So I am Laurie, and I am with Maria today. I met you in my hostel in Zagreb.
Yes.
And you've been traveling for a few days, I think now?
Like almost a month.
Almost a month, okay.
Yeah.
That's a lot. And we're now sitting in this hostel in Zagreb. So to start with, can you please tell us what is your inner weather today?
Like today I feel really good. Like I woke up this morning and I was like, I'm wearing pink because of that. Because I used to, usually I wear like bright colors when I feel my best. So that's why I'm wearing this.
I love that.
Yes.
So cool. So Maria, you were born and raised in Caracas, Venezuela. Yes. Could you please tell us what is your life story?
Oh, well, I come from a family of migrants. My grandmother decided to... My family is actually from Colombia. So when she got married and she had a lot of kids, she was like, after her last, pregnant period, she decided to live all her life the life that she used to have in Colombia. She lived it apart because my grandfather used to be an alcoholic, so she was like tired of that. Okay. So she grabbed 3 of her child. Actually, one of these was my mother. Okay. And she moved to Venezuela. Okay. She started working cleaning houses and stuff. Okay. So she raised her children by herself. Then she went back to Colombia, took the others that she left, and they were all now they moved all to Venezuela, but without my grandfather. Okay. So that's important because I come from a family where women are like strong, you know. So my mother got pregnant at 30 years, so she had me, but she did not have a relationship with my father. Okay. So she raised me alone. All right. So that's like, for me, this is like the most important part of my history, like my the history of my family, because it's like we've been all raised to do the things by ourselves. Like we don't need anybody actually.
I love that.
Yes. So since that, my mother, since she was alone, she had to work a lot. So my life is not like super easy. But I've never, I have everything. Like she gave me everything. I'm being able to travel right now. I get my career. I learn a lot of languages because of her. And she's always like supporting me to do the things. So I kind of think that I can do whatever I want because I had this like strong support on my back.
I'm so happy for you. It's very amazing to have a mother that is that strong and supportive. I think it's a good model.
Yes.
In life. Is there one thing that makes you vibrant in your everyday life?
Oh, vibrant. It's really funny because I have this journal that I'm writing, and it has this kind of questions, something that makes you. And I think it's for me This will sound a bit weird, but for me, what makes me vibrant every day is seeing that there's people that get old and they're still loving each other. Like for me, it's the love that you see, like in the environment. That's amazing. I love seeing people that it's in love.
That's so cool. You're right. Yes.
And
Yeah.
food, of course. I love eating. Yeah, it's like it's food. And if, for example, if I got this day when I'm eating and I able to see a couple of old people, that's the best day.
I love that.
Yes.
This is cool. Yeah. Also, sometimes I mean, I'm sitting and I look around and I see some older people like just holding their hand, and I'm like, oh well, love exists like this far. So that's great. That's beautiful. So now, if we focus on Venezuela, how would you describe the situation for women and gender minorities in your country?
Okay. Oh, that's a tough one, actually.
Yeah.
We are, if we're seeing the things from the political angle, you'll see that we have the representation. There are women that are on the top of governments in the states. We have a representation in the assembly. We have a ministry that it's just for women's rights. Like,
great.
We have these laws that actually, if you call in my country the emergency number, it's 911 because they changed it. It used to be 121, but that's not important.
Okay.
So if you call 911 and the first thing you said is that you're a woman and you're in trouble, they are going to answer this faster than other emergency.
Good. Okay.
So because they are really worried, they used to be really worried about the situation of women in Latin America, and since we are not, besides that we are in this continent, Venezuela is not that Catholic, so we are not.
Okay.
I can say that for us, families and stuff, we are not so conservative. That's the word.
Okay.
So we have this equality thing that that exists and people respect it. So we are seeing that the rates of violence in a relationship, I don't know how to say this, there's a specific term for that, the rates are growing.
Feminicides?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So you can see that there's a lot of violence towards women. Last year I read a lot of cases of women that got murdered because for their couple, and
oh my god,
they were not like old women. They were like 15 years old girls that were into a relationship with someone that of course it's older, but this happens a lot in these classes, like the lower classes. So that's one thing. On the other hand, you had like this is what happens in the lower classes. It's like the normal thing, and usually women, I think that they are like their self-esteem is so low that they cannot see themselves doing anything else, like being able to achieve a career, because university is free in Venezuela, and it's actually really good.
Okay.
Yes, it's really, really good. I mean, I study all my career in one of the best public universities in Venezuela, and I feel like I'm doing well,
Amazing, yes.
But the thing is that they don't want to study because that's not going to give them any money. And then on the other hand, you have the rich side of the society, which is actually funny because they are not, that there are two kinds of rich in Latin America. People that had the heritage, so they are rich because their family have always been rich. But now we have this side that it's not people that it's working and they got rich. No.
Okay.
In Venezuela is that there's people that it's well connected to the government. So they used to be really poor, but now they are really rich. But it's not rich, they are really rich. So, but they don't have values. And these people do the exact same thing that poor people do. So you can see that the rates of violence against women in this side of the society are really high. Like
so
actually
sad.
they mistreat them at the point that they are injured, and they got injured and they don't do anything. They are like, okay, well, I can not do anything because he is well connected, and if I put if I go to the ministry and put the denounce, I think it's denounce.
Yes.
Maybe he's going to kill me. So I prefer to stay like this.
Really?
Yes, and this is something really common because as we are on a situation that it's not normal. If you have the power and the money to pay for you to get like away with the crime, you're probably gonna get it because that's
so
normal.
corrupted.
Yes, so that's the thing.
Okay. Wow, thank you so much for sharing all of this. This is, yeah, for sure, like violence against women, it happens in every layer of society, from lower class to upper class.
And that's just for women. If you see the part of for example, the LGBTQ community.
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
Okay, so we had a mayor in our city, one of the zones of the city, because Caracas it's divided on zones. One of the zones used to have a mayor. She was lesbian actually, and it was really weird because for us was like, oh my god, they choose her. Okay, that's new. Now I 2 weeks ago I saw this new that they have decided to take to stop punishing people from the army from being homosexual. So they are trying to be like more flexible with this.
That's a good thing.
But there are a lot of cases, lots of cases that homosexual couples that got like punished in the street. Not punished, but people like they don't like
Attacked.
to see. Yeah, they attack them.
Oh my god.
They don't like to see them like kissing or hugging or even holding hands in the streets. So we have this new figure. It's like an organization that is trying to work towards this, and they are like taking all the cases and trying to put them like into the court to make things like solve the things. But it's something new. Like for us. The rights for them, it's something really new.
I see. Yeah, I see what you mean. Like the situation is that bad for like gender equality between men and women that the fights which are as important for LGBTQA plus people is not. I mean, you're not there yet. So I feel it, and this is so sad. But I think it's common to other countries.
Yes, of course. And the other thing is that in the professional field, you can see that in Venezuela it happens a lot that professional women are like, oh, for example, in my case, that it's engineering.
Yes.
I had lots of teachers that were like, oh, you're a woman. You shouldn't be studying this. And it's like, why not?
Yeah.
Like, I have the same capabilities. Even I could say that I have more capabilities than you because I'm able to understand that women can do this, and you're not.
Yeah, we didn't tell to our listeners that yes, you're an engineer. You're writing your thesis at the moment, and that's amazing. All right, thank you for sharing this information about Venezuela. Do you personally remember the first time you experienced gender inequality?
Oh, yes, of course. It was, I was already in the university actually, and I was planning my schedule because since, I don't know if it's like that in all the universities in the world, but in my university they gave you like a list of things that you can see, like you can, I don't know, the subjects that you can study.
Yes.
And they gave you like the hours, so you have to plan your schedule. So I was planning my schedule for, I think it was the third semester or the fourth, and I wanted to see this subject, and the hours were like 7 in the morning, and then the other one was like 5 of the 5 p.m. in the evening.
Okay.
So for me, actually, it was easier to see the subject in the morning because if I had this well planned, I would be able to have like the evenings free, so it would be perfect. And I was doing this, and one of my friends came and said like, "Hey, you shouldn't put the subject in the morning." And I was like, "Why?" And he said like, hey, the thing is that this teacher is not he does not agree with women being engineers. So if you write the subject with him, you are not gonna pass it. Like there's no way.
Really?
Yes, you're not get any chance of passing the subject.
Like systematically, the professor will not.
Yes.
Wow, that's crazy.
And this was really sad because I had to write the subject in the evening, and then the teacher was awful. I did not learn anything because he was like, hey, you can read this in the books, do the things like that. He was not teaching us anything. I had to do it like by myself.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is that that was the only time that I experienced this in the university with a subject, because with teachers it's actually pretty normal. But yeah, that was the first time, and it was awful because I was like, but what does it have to do? Like, we are in 2017 or 18.
Okay.
So it's like we are in this high of the century, you know?
Yeah.
Why are we still fighting for this? Like, it's not, if it's, I'm a woman, I know, but I know that I am more intelligent than other guys that are studying the same. And it's not because
sure.
I'm not egocentric or anything like that. It's just like I know. So.
And it's 100% fine to know
yes. And the thing is that, yeah, that happened to me, and it's like, at least I didn't have a bad experience with the teacher, but I know that a friend of mine, she wrote the subject because she didn't care, and she got like the whole semester was awful, and at the end she didn't pass the subject, of course, because
Really?
yes.
Wow, is this professor still
yes,
working?
It's one of the best actually of that subject, so they are not going to fire him.
Really?
Yes.
This is such a problem.
Yes.
Like, oh my God, this is obvious discrimination. Like, he should just be removed of his function, of his functions. Well, I'm sorry you experienced this, but I'm glad you passed anyway.
Yes, but for example, in my country, there are some situations that you can take advantage of for being a woman.
Yeah.
In this case, it's really normal for us women in Venezuela that if we are driving and if we, for example, had a problem with our car, we just stop by the street and we start like, oh my God, what am I gonna do now? And it's super like, you cannot imagine how fast a man will stop and he will try to solve anything without even asking.
Okay.
So that's the good part. Like, they are like trying to help you because you're a woman, but there are cases that they are not doing this in a respectful way. So.
Yeah, maybe sometimes they would just expect something else
yes,
in return.
Yes.
Well, I think we can learn how to change a tire.
Yes, of course.
Thank you for sharing your personal experience. Is there one thing you think that could reduce gender inequalities in Venezuela?
Yes, and I think it's education. For me, it's always education, and I know that it sounds like a bit like easy and silly answer. It's not silly, but the thing is that for me, you have to. Education comes from home. So if you're raising a child, it's not from the schools. No, I'm referring to the education that you receive in your family. Mm-hmm. So if you're raising a child without teaching him anything, and he or she, specifically, if he is just surrounded by the society that it's not like the best, because it's not the best. It has many things that should be like that shouldn't exist at this point of a century. You are not doing anything. You are just raising a child that it's going to go out and it's going to continue mistreating women. But the thing is that women must be aware that they have this power of changing things. Like, you have the power of raising men, like good men. You have that power, but there's people that don't care. And the thing is that since they are living situations that are really bad, sometimes they don't have anything to eat. they will not even have the idea of raising a good person. They are just going to try to feed the person, and that's all, you know.
Try to survive.
Yeah, try to survive. And the thing is that that's really common. Like, it's really common in not only in Venezuela but in the region.
Yes.
So that's education will be the answer, but I think you have to solve also the crisis. And the crisis, I think sometimes I think it's unsolvable, you know.
Yes.
That it has, we think it has no, we have no exit of, we'll never go out of that. So if that's not possible, that's where education from the schools should have something, because it's not just women fighting against, you know, women's rights, but there are men that has to, they have to live actually really bad situations, because since our region, it's our country, it's quite of I don't know the word, but since men are such they are so conservative.
Yeah, like toxic masculinity.
Yeah, that toxic
Yes.
masculinity. They have to do what men should. They have to do what men should do. So,
what is expected from them.
yeah, and if they are not that, if they are not strong men, they are not able to, you know, have the things. If they are not like this strong man that does not care about how they get dressed and stuff, you know, this kind of things, they are not going to be like the man, and you have to be the man. And what if your son is gay, or what if he's not like interested on that, you know? Because there are men that they are not gay, but they don't like this kind of stuff.
Of course,
And they have to fight against this stigma of being the man that doesn't make any sense, you know? It's like, you don't have to be that. And that's the other thing. There are men that suffer a lot because of this. In my case, I have a younger brother, and since he's been raised by women, and of course his dad he has a participation in this, because in my case it wasn't like that. But the father of my brother, he doesn't live with us, but he's there.
Okay.
He's like paying attention to everything. I think he's a good dad. But
nice.
My brother is like, he does not care about being a man, but he's like, he take care of us, but he's stronger, so he's not able to do some things. And he's like, okay, like, there are cases that he says like, I'm the man of the house.
Yeah.
Because he says, no, you have to talk with my sister. She knows how to do the things, because I have no idea. And it's really funny because people heard this, and it's like, but she's a woman. And he's like, yeah, and she's really strong actually, because we take boxing classes together.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
Yeah, and the teacher says, hey, you have to protect your sister. And he's like, oh my God, no, she's going to protect me, because I'm not able to fight like she fights. Yeah, it's really funny.
Your brother looks so cool.
Yeah, he's the best. He's 16 years old, but he's
16. Oh my God.
but he's super mature. Like, he knows a lot of things. He's able to talk to me of things. There was one time when I was feeling really bad because of a relationship that I used to have.
Okay.
And he came and said like, hey, you have to stop. Like, you're not living your life. This is not that you've not, like, why are you so sad? He's an asshole. Like, you don't care. No.
I want a brother like this.
Yeah, he's the best. I really love him.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing this. And big up to your brother and the woman that raised him.
Yes.
Also, of course. Amazing. So I would like to go towards the feminism part.
Okay.
I'm wondering, what is your own personal definition of feminism?
Oh. Well, there was a time that I used to hate feminism, actually.
Okay.
But not because I'm not feminist, because I'm a woman. But yeah, for me, feminism, it's that, like, support women, actually understand like that we are equal each other, women.
Yes.
And we should be like proud of us, and not trying to, make other women less.
Of course.
That's something that happens a lot, that we do not understand sometimes the concept of sorority. So for
I love
me,
that you bring the words.
yeah,
It was in my mind.
I love, like, yeah, there, it happens a lot because of gossip, or because women fighting for a man. For me, that doesn't make any sense. Like, we are alone in this fight, and we have to be stronger and be united in order to being able to catch men, so they can start supporting us and not just expecting anything from us, just supporting us because we are united. And I think I'm super feminist.
Yeah,
Yes,
I think
because
too.
it's like I really like meeting new women that I know that they are strong, and they tell me all the amazing things that they're doing. For example, in your case, I really admire the fact that you were able to travel through Latin America. I've never do this. Like, it's never in my life. I now I want to do that because
Yeah,
I
you'll
see
do
that you
it.
were able. But the thing is that, like, I really like this, but I know that there are women that are not that good.
Thank you so much. You're so right. It's very important that we support each other to actually be together in this,
Yes.
because I think patriarchalism makes us compete in between each other, thinking that we rely on the cis men looks, and that we have to fight for guys, or like be the most beautiful,
and you start to develop this bad relationship with yourself. For example, I used to have a bad relationship with food because of I was not like able to love my body. And this is not something like really old. It still happens, like, until when I started this trip. I was like really worried because I thought, oh my god, I'm gonna be there, I don't know how I'm going to do to eat. Like, maybe I'll get, bigger because I'll be eating really bad. So what I'm gonna do is, like, I will not eat. That will be the the answer. So then, after thinking a lot and seeing that I'm able to do these amazing things, I'm changing it. And for example, I was talking to a girl yesterday that I met in a bar, and I was telling her that now I'm able to eat without feeling guilty. So I'm really happy. But that's something that I've been like suffering for a long time, and it's because of the society telling you that you have to look this way in order to get a man, and that's not true. I mean, I have my boyfriend, and he's like, I don't know, he's super in love. No matter if I'm fat, if I skinny, if I have my hair well, he doesn't not care.
Because you're more than a body, and he just loves you for yourself, and everybody is beautiful.
Exactly.
That's the most important. Like, really.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing this. That's really important. So you said that you consider yourself a feminist.
Yes.
How do you express your feminism?
Oh, well, first thing is that I don't care about what men think. If I'm looking good, if I'm if my hair looks okay, if I'm doing the things that women are supposed to be doing. For example, in my age, I should like be thinking about having a family or getting married or this stuff. And no, like right now, I'm just thinking about where I'm going to where I'm going next, like what will be my new adventure, and I don't care. And that's one of the things. And the other thing is that it happens a lot that men said, like, you should not be dressing like this because you will not look good. And I know that this is, I think that it's not, it's kind of superficial. It's not that that deep.
It is important.
Yeah, because I had a friend that he says, like, hey, you should not be wearing those bright colors because you will look like a carnival. And it's like, no, I like my bright colors.
Yeah.
Now because I'm traveling, I don't have bright colors because I will have to do a lot of laundry, because I can.
Right.
But the
Practical.
thing is that I don't care. I use actually in Venezuela, I use a lot of makeup because I really like to express my femininity with makeup.
Love this.
And I know that for me, being able to express your femininity and feel comfortable about that is a way of expressing feminism, because I don't have to hide anything just because for you it's going to be complicated to see a woman that looks like a woman and it's capable of doing, big things.
Yes.
For example, in my case, men expect that women that are engineers look awful, like they have to have a hairy armpits or a mustache or stuff, and I'm not like that. Like I really like to do my outfits. I use my makeup and I match them. I love that. And I go like this, like when I'm going to classes, or when I used to, go to classes, because right now I'm not. I used to do like the whole outfit, and they were like, "Are you going to a model, like a runway or stuff?" And it was like, "No, really? I feel like really beautiful today, so I wanted to share it with you."
I love the answer.
Yeah, that's my way of sharing feminism. Like you don't have to hide your femininity because you're supporting women's rights. In my case, I think it's the complete opposite. You have to be more feminine, and you have to. I also being able to do the things, like not being you, because of you're wearing a skirt. You don't have to shout your opinions.
Yes.
But in the same at the same way, I also think that women are able to. I respect a lot if you don't like to do this kind of stuff, because there are women that don't like makeup, don't like heels, don't like dresses, and it's okay. Like of course. You have to respect both. So it's like doing yourself and respecting it, the other one. So if I had a friend that she doesn't like to do this stuff, for me it's also like expressing feminism. Like it's okay, it's up to you. Like you do you, and that's all.
Of course. Thank you for this. This is so funny. Like, and this is also very sad that if you're like going to engineer courses, and which is some people think like reserved to guys, you would be supposed to look like a guy, and if you actually express your femininity, which is super normal, they would be like, "Oh, don't do this," or "Don't do this," or they would like just show it to you, like, "Oh, you're going to a model."
Yeah, for example, in my case, I'm doing my thesis with a friend, a good friend of my career. She's a woman too.
Okay.
She's amazing. So we are planning to, since we have to defend our thesis, we have to do the presentation.
Oh, right.
We were thinking about doing, the PowerPoint. We are going to do this in pink, and we are going to get dressed in pink. Like that's a plan that we have. That. Because one of our teachers said that you have to do this in blue because those are the colors of engineers. And we were like, no, there is no such a thing called colors of the engineers. Yes. So actually we said to our families that if you want to go to our thesis, you have to get dressed like in pink. Yes.
Oh, because people can go see you, right?
So
amazing.
If you want to see our thesis, you should dress in pink, and that's all.
I want to come.
You're welcome.
When is this?
I don't know. Like, since we are still having all these problems, we don't know where this is going to happen, but yes.
You're so right. And in the end, I think it's a way to also stand up and just being different from others.
Yes,
and that's amazing.
For example, in this case that we are doing is the first thesis of renewable energies in our, whole school of petroleum engineering, sorry. So it's the first one. It's really important, actually. So imagine that, and we are women, 2 women. We are 2 women and dressed in pink. And we I bought these pink heels that I will use them, and I'm really happy. Like I love them.
I'm really supportive of this, and I think you'll do amazing. And I think it's also going to open the path for next women in your promotion. So that's amazing. Is there like a feminist book or person that inspires you, or a book that blew your mind?
No, not a book, but there's this girl that it's. I think she's from Argentina. Mm-hmm. She's an influencer.
Amazing.
Her name is Sol.
Okay.
I can't remember which is her account, but the thing is that I really love her because she's like really supportive about the body stuff.
Amazing.
So she does these videos about, hey, you don't have to care if you're fat. You can wear whatever you want. And I mean, it has to do only with your image. But for me, this is actually important because I've been suffering a lot for a long time for this. So I really enjoy like the things she does, and she gets a lot of criticism because of the way that she looks, because she has a belly, you know, muffin tops. She had this, and she uses
like a lot of women.
Yes, and she uses dresses that are like not
straight.
Yes.
Yeah, they're
so
like,
you can see her body like through the dress, and people is like, hey, you shouldn't be supposed to like to dress that and stuff. And she's like, hey, I don't care. Like, if you don't like it, it's your problem. I like it, so I think I look beautiful, and I'm gonna go like this to the streets. Like, it's not your problem. And she does this a lot, and I really like this because it's like I'm not able to do that. For example, I can wear clothes, like there's clothes that I really like, but there are some things that I avoid because I don't feel comfortable. But this is something that it's not because I don't feel comfortable, it's because society has made me think that I will not be comfortable with this. So this is the kind of feminists that I really like, the ones that are like positive about yourself, body positive. I love this. And this is the kind of things that I actually follow, because even though if they're just things that has to do with the way that you look, I think that's the first step. When women start to stop doing things because men are going to feel more attracted to them, we are going to start like changing the fight, you know?
Definitely.
Because after that, women are going to see that you don't have to fight for a man. They should be fighting for you. Actually, for me, it's like that. You shouldn't be the one, like you have not to. You should not be getting that low for a man.
Thank you so much, and thank you for bringing the feminist person that talk about body positive. It is I think one of the most important aspects also of feminism and of empowering women. We have so much weight on our shoulders about our body, how we should like.
Yes.
I don't know, the hair, the breasts, the belly, like. And who says guys don't like bellies? Like, what the fuck? Like,
No.
it is so normal to have
There's
a belly.
a quote from this movie. I don't know if you know the movie Eat, Love, Pray. And
Yes,
there's a moment
Julia
where
Roberts.
Julia Roberts said like, you shouldn't care if you have the muffin top or not. Like, do you really think that a man will see you naked and will say like, oh no, you're fat, I will not sleep with you? That's not
That's true. Yeah, I remember the quote. Yeah, thank you for sharing this. Like, for example, also like from my own experience about body positivism. On Instagram, I used to have like women that are super fit and everything, and I struggled a bit with having like very very tiny boobs, but now I love them, so that's fine. So I started like following accounts that would like show beautiful women with tiny boobs, and I was like, oh, this is beautiful. And then you start seeing that other women are super fine with them, and then you start accepting yourself and also being part of this. So
well, I can tell you that having boobs, it's not like the best part of a thing. There are lots of clothes that are beautiful, but they are just for skinny and people that does not have this. For example, in my case, I've been planning, like I suffer a lot with this when I was in school, because it was like, this is so huge, I cannot live with this. Now I love it because you know, it's part of me and I love myself. But there was a part when I was even thinking of taking them away, you know. Because they were like, no, I don't want to have this. And I used to hide them. Like, I used to wear like 3 bras, like to make them like tight.
Really?
Yes, to don't feel that I have this, because it was really uncomfortable for me.
It must have been very painful.
Yes, it was awful.
Carol, I'm sorry you experienced this, but I'm happy to hear that you love yourself.
Yes.
It's beautiful to have this registered. So we're going towards the end. So I was wondering, are you in touch with your inner child?
Okay, yes, of course I am. Because, for example, now that I'm having all this experience, says that I'm living because of the trip. I'm doing things that I've always wanted to do when I was a child. For example, I eat a lot of sweets. I love chocolate, so I've been like I have chocolate in every bag I have. Like just for you don't know when are you going to need some chocolate. When I was a kid, I wasn't able to do that, but not because of money or something else. Just because my mother was like, you cannot like survive with chocolate. No, you're not gonna do that. And there was a phase I remember that when I got a teenager, like in between 12 and 13 years old, my mother decided to stop buying, Cokes, this kind of drinks, because they have a lot of sugar, and she said that you're in this period, so you're gonna suffer a lot if you start to develop acne and stuff. So we are going to try to reduce this. Okay. So she just buy it on the weekends. But now I can drink this stuff whenever I want, but I don't like them. So I can drink it, but I try to do it when I'm like, okay, I want this. And that's the thing, that now that I'm an adult, I do the things that I don't care if they are for my age or not. I'll do this because I've always wanted to do this, Yeah, that's my way. This is so cool. Yes.
I love this.
Yes.
If you could say something to your past 10 years old self, what would you say?
Maybe that, for example, to my 10-year-old, the first thing is that you don't have to worry for your body that much. Like you're gonna find, because I remember that when I was a child, and this is really, actually it's really complicated in a situation, but it used to be really hard for me. I used to think that I was not beautiful.
Okay.
So for me, it was like, because I was, imagine this, I'm wearing glasses, I had the curly hair. I was not fat, but I used to think that I was fat, and I was actually really skinny. I don't know why I was thinking that. So for me it was like, and I was not that, I didn't look that feminine, but not because I wasn't feminine, just because that was my biology, Yeah. I was like more like, I look like a little boy. It's really funny. But my mother used to put this, huge things with Hello Kitties and pink stuff in my hair. So it was really cute, but I didn't feel beautiful. So I used to think that I would never get to know anyone like would like to be with me. And I was a child. Like I shouldn't be thinking about this kind of stuff when I was that age, but that was a thing because of my environment. And so I was like really worried, because I thought for instance that I would get to this past the teenager phase, and then after that I will look the same, and probably I was going to stay like alone for the rest of my life, because I didn't have a personality to catch people, and I even consider myself boring and stuff. Then when I started to grow up, I realized that things were not like that, but there was, it has to pass a lot of time. That was when I started to realize things were not like that. I was 20 years, not even 16. For me, this period between between 13 years and 20, it was really hard. Like I used to hate myself in ways that I cannot explain. I used to do really bad things to my body just because I hate myself. And now it's like, no, you don't have to. Like you're going to get to the point that you start seeing that things are not like that. You should not be like focusing on those stuff. And actually now it's like, it's something that I do not share with people, but for me it's like, I think I'm beautiful, and I think I've developed this personality. I think I'm really funny actually. And so it's like I have the best. Like I usually joke with this with my boyfriend, and I said to him like, you have the best of both worlds. I can do the funny stuff, and I look gorgeous. So I don't know what you're gonna do. Like if I decide to stop dating you, you're going to lose a lot.
Girl, I love that.
Yes, but he's super funny. Like he's the best. But he says like, oh my God, you're the one that's gonna lose because I'm the best. And we are always joking like this, no? But yeah, I will say that I'll say that it's a good thing to develop the personality, but you can develop the personality loving yourself. That's something that I will probably share with my inner, like the past girl that used to have 10 years and used to hate herself so much.
Yeah, that's a beautiful message.
Yes.
And I think you're so right. Every woman is so brilliant and fun and much more than a body, So, and I think we all go through this phase when we're like teenager, and it's hard like to love our body because there is so much expectations on this, and so I'm so glad you passed through it. And it also took me it took me a long time also to like my body, and sometimes I also like share myself, but like, okay, yes, you're amazing, and I think it's so important, and we should all be like this.
Yes, of course. And the thing is that yes, you should like do the things that makes you actually happy.
Yes, yeah.
And there are times that when you're just so worried about stuff that do not care, and then you realize that you've been like doing the things wrong for a long time just because you were scared of what would people say. And for example, in Latin America, this is a thing. Like people actually said a lot of things about you. Like for example, in my case, since I'm 26, I just turned 26. Actually, like 5 days ago.
Oh.
Yes. So
happy birthday.
Thank you.
A bit late.
Yes. But people say that, hey, you should be thinking about doing other things. Like, and the fact that they say that if you do not change the way that you're doing things now, you're probably gonna end up alone without the kids and stuff. And that's like, you cannot do that. And for me, it's like, no, I don't think things are like that. I mean, my mother had me at 30, and then she had my brother at 40. You know, you can. If you don't have kids, that's not the end of the world.
Of course, so many women don't have kids.
But the thing is that there are women that are more vulnerable to these comments.
Yeah,
so
you're right.
It's because of the environment and it's not just women attacking women, but men actually saying things, and it's something really normal. That's really normal. So I think that for that reason, there are many people, not just women, people in Latin America that decide to build their lives around this stuff that people say that are important, and then you see that they got to their 30s, their 40s, and they are just so sad people. Like they're like, and you see this, you see them, and they look gray.
Yes.
You know that they have this gray energy, even black, that you would not like to be with them because they are just living this sad life because they got all what the people say that it's important, but those things do not care, like, and that's really sad. And the thing is this: if you don't realize that you are doing this stuff because of what people are saying, you're going to get to that point.
Thank you so much for sharing this. So our very last question. Oh yeah, no, before that I wanted to ask you, is there something you would like to add or to change to the definition you gave to feminism before?
No, okay. I think it's really, for me, it's been like a journey understanding how feminism works, because I think that it's different for everyone. Like you cannot have one concept because it's something that we live and it's something that we understand. It's like love,
Yes.
It's going to be different. Like you're going to express it different actually from other people. So for me, it's like
amazing. Thank you. Now, very last question. So, as a Venezuelan/Colombian woman, what message would you like to share to other women and people from gender minorities around the world?
Oh, well, taking that, I will say that you should not feel less for being a woman. I know that there are environments and there are situations in which you do not have the chance of doing things because might think that the environment makes things so complicated, but actually not. No, you have the power to, if you really want to do this stuff, you can have the power, but you have to take the opportunity and do these things even if it's dangerous or stuff, because maybe by doing this you're going to inspire other women to do the stuff. Yes, if it's you the one that decided to raise your voice, or even like an action, maybe if it's something, one thing, you will be maybe inspiring others. So it's that, like, you should always do the things that you like, or do the things or change the things that you think they're not right, because by doing this you are gonna probably inspire other women to do the same thing. And also, on the other hand, for me, you should start loving more being a woman, and you should start respecting more other women, because if we don't start by this, that looks like something really tiny, we are never gonna get like the strong we need as a gender to do actually and to achieve the stuff that we need. And we are going to continue this fight.
This is a beautiful message.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Maria.
No, thanks to you.
You've been amazing, and thank you for sharing also like such personal experience.
Yes.
It means a lot.
It was Sun Sister Podcast. Thank you for listening and see you next Friday.